The more I think about my mental strategy for my 50 miler coming up in like a week and a half, the more I'm like, I just need to do more dumb things. Like I really need to lean into that dumb, silly energy more. Hello, my friends, and welcome back to Runnah. Welcome back to your favorite local running community. I'm Juliana, and I am here today because we are doing an episode of like Juliana by herself / Shoe Eating Monster, where I am mulling over, thinking over, talking over my mantras, my thoughts, my feelings, my vibes that I'm bringing into the 50 miler that I'm running in well, as of recording, like a week and a half. My first ever 50 miler, again, attempt that I am attempting, that I'm going to be attempting at the Stonecat Trail Festival in Ipswich, Massachusetts. If you're going to be there, let me know. I would love to have other people to run with, to vibe with. You know, it's a nice time. But before we get into the mantras, the thoughts, and the feelings I would like to bring into this race with me, I would like to ask all of you to bring some good vibes into the world. And please, like and subscribe to the channel. That way you can be part of your favorite local running community every week here. So I have some thoughts that I would like to bring in, some mantras, some vibes that I would like to bring into my race for the 50 miler. This is the longest I've ever even attempted to be out on foot ever. The furthest distance I've ever completed was the 50K that I did back in May, and I finished that and I felt like I had more in me. Granted, my training cycle for that looked a lot different. Also, yes, I do have new glasses. Thank you so much for asking. I did get my prescription refilled, and I did buy myself some new glasses on LensSmart, and I think they look nice. My vibe and the goal that I wanted for the glasses was the biggest ones I could find, so I did go on LensSmart, and I did sort by large, and I did make sure I did sort through every single lens to make sure I got the biggest ones, and these are them. Thank you. Thank you for asking. But I finished that 50K and I was like, I would think I want to do a 50 miler. Again, the training cycle this summer has been what? Bad, very bad. So I really haven't even gotten I haven't gotten anywhere near the training I want to do. I haven't done a 20-mile run since Berlin. And I've been trying to ramp up my mileage, but my training has not been like where I want it to be. But that's okay. I've been working on my mental training. And so what I bring to you, friends, today is the mantras that I am bringing into this race with me, because we have to kind of have that mindset of like, I'm just out here all day. I'm just here, just doing my thing. We have to have that I'm here all day mindset, you know? And along with that, I have some mantras that I did indeed write on this little piece of paper right here for all of you, so I don't forget any of them. So our first little note that I wrote here, which I think is the biggest thing that I want to bring into it, and the thing that I keep coming back to, is manage the moment. I know that I am capable of managing each micro moment and each little catastrophe and kerfuffle that happens throughout the entirety of the 50-mile race. I am confident in most, 99% of the time, managing the moment. And if I can't manage it, I'm sure there's someone either around me, a course monitor, a volunteer, another fellow racer who can help me just get to the point where I can manage that moment. If the moment is not manageable, that's a good sign to me that maybe this is the end of the day for me. Maybe we just call it a day and that's kind of it. But just kind of not blowing things up, not freaking out and having that all or nothing mindset, and just kind of being like, okay, my socks are wet right now. What can I do about that? Is that actually a problem? And if I'm not blistering and I know that I have a fresh pair of socks waiting for me at the turnaround / start finish line area in my bag, that I think the method is going to be, we put all of Juliana's stuff in a bag, right? And then we put a trash bag over it. And then within that trash bag, the bag in a bag, we put hand warmers. So that way when I roll in, I have warm items. I have a warm change of underwear. I have a warm change of socks to change into. My shoes, if I choose to change them out, are going to be dry and warm. The trash bag provides the dryness. The hand warmers provide the warmth, which will then be trapped by the trash bag inside of the nice, warm, dry bag. I don't know if I'm the first person to think of it. I'm probably not. But this is what happens when you're crewing your own 50-miler. But managing the moment, realizing that for the most part, I know how to do this. I'm not a newbie when it comes to running. I am with trail running. I was thinking to myself yesterday and today, like, that last year, this time, Juliana would not even recognize this year's Juliana, who's just going out and rocking like back to back. Like I did 15, 9, 11, 9. And 3 of those 4 runs were on trails. And I was wearing a pack for all of those. I would not recognize myself a year ago. It's crazy. Ben and I talked about this, but it's wild. So manage the moment is my first one. My second one and my second biggest one, we're just kind of going in order of importance here, is I need to do more dumb things. And by that, I mean silly things that make me smile, because I'm a human being. And the more I lean into being myself, the more I realize I'm just someone who likes to be able to just be silly and be dumb. I love a bit. I love a dumb, silly thing. I love like a weird like motion. And I really realized this during the Cape Cod Marathon weekend, where I'm on the finish/starting line area and I'm just like having a fun time. And I do a dumb thing and people react to that. And that brings me so much joy. And I know that when I'm running with other people and they kind of inspire me in a way to act in a silly or dumb manner, I definitely feel brighter inside. I feel just more revitalized. Even again, if I'm having like a really bad run and someone tells a stupid joke and I just laugh because that just makes me laugh. I love dumb jokes. I am finding ways to do that for myself. Recently, what I started doing is giving, like, just kind of getting out of my own head, singing, which I always do, but it's giving shout outs to random inanimate objects, which Nicole was like today. She's like, Juliana, you've already started hallucinating. And I said, yeah, you know, but she's like, that's part of your brain already. I was like, yeah, so I don't even have to worry about that. We're going to be fine. When the hallucinations start happening, I'm just going to accept them as something that's already happening, you know? But I was like shouting out the pine needles for bringing extra ambiance. I was shouting out the trees for blocking the wind for me. You know, like just giving some good vibes back into the universe. Shouting out like things, people, I'll shout out people too, and like things that are not inanimate objects, but I was running by myself in the woods. So of course I'm going to shout out the inanimate objects, but just doing like silly things like that, or having like a Broadway like singing break in the middle of like lap 2 or whatever, like queuing up some Broadway music and singing just like singing like Hairspray. You can't stop the avalanches, it races down the hill. Like things like that, like just pretending to be Cher singing Hairspray, like that alone like brings me so much joy. And just being able to pull from that in a moment where things are really low and I'm really hurting, to just be like, okay guys, we're now going to have a Hairspray sing along, and the only requirement is that you either enjoy it or join in, and if you're going to join in, you have to sing like Cher. Things like that. That's what I want to bring into my race, you know. My next thing is just to be thankful that I can be here. Many of you know I have a lot of health challenges. I've more recently been threatened with a POA surgery, which means because I've got re-diagnosed again, well, reconfirmed in, that I have hip dysplasia. And the POA surgery, I don't know what that stands for, but pretty much what it means in real people terms, they crack open your hip, they reshape your hip and your bone and joint, and then they put you back together, and you're pretty much like out for like not moving at all. Like no, not even walking for like a year. That could be my future, friends. So we run now because we can. And I have fully functioning, for the most part, legs, like a pretty dysfunctional hip joint, but you know, it is what it is. It is what it is. I'm running because I can. The other thing that I've started to think to myself is that I am at least a little bit of a badass, because like most runners, I suffer from a lot of imposter syndrome. And I've only been trail running for a year, and I've only run 1 ultra marathon. Even just today, Nicole and I were talking about my race, and she's like, do you feel ready for your marathon? Like your 50-miler? And I was like, I don't know. And I don't really know. And she's like, well, you're an ultra marathoner. You just kind of do these things now. And I was like, well, thank you for calling me an ultra marathoner. She's like, well, that's what you are. I was like, yeah, but I don't feel like it. I've only done one. She's right in the fact that like I'm training like one and I have run one, and definitely I do enjoy that lifestyle. So I do identify a lot with that community, and I technically, all things considered, definitely am an ultra marathon runner. And if anyone else came up to me and was like, I ran a 50K, but I don't identify as an ultra marathon runner, I would be like, well, you are. So I just have to think to myself, like, what would I tell myself if I was like looking at myself and having that conversation, and just like owning the title and owning the things that I've done, and also realizing the fact that I'm in a very small group of humans right now that keep coming back. Like the number of people who want to and execute and do run the ultramarathon distance is tiny already. I have no idea what the numbers are, but it's tiny already. Then you get down to the females who are running ultramarathons. Even smaller, very, very concentrated group of humans. And then the people who want to and continue to, who are female ultramarathon runners who are coming back more than once for that distance. Very, 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 very tiny group of humans. To me, because I'm surrounded by these people, not necessarily a lot of like female ultramarathon runners, but like I run with Ben all the time. Ben arguably is I think one of the most badass ultramarathoners out there. He regularly takes on Jigger Johnson, which is definitively the hardest ultramarathon on the East Coast. Like it's through the White Mountains. It's crazy. And like he just does these things. And I was talking to him too. I was like, for me, it's interesting to see the different grades of humans I interact with when I tell them I'm running a 50 miler or attempting a 50 miler, because he's just like, oh yeah, cool. Like that's just that's like a short distance for him. So his reaction to me is like, oh, that's nice. And he's like glad that I'm doing it. And he's very supportive, but it's not anything where he's like, oh my gosh, that's crazy. You shouldn't be doing that. Like that's wild. And just that level, which I really appreciate, just that level of just acceptance and normalcy, I really, really, really appreciate. And just having other people in my life who are also, they're just like, yeah, I usually run like at least 100 miler a year. And that's just like a normal thing for them. Me coming in and being interested and them being enthusiastic that I'm interested and just accepting me in, and also being around all these other people who are just talking about running these distances, one, helps me normalize these things in a positive way. But two, also just like kind of dulls it a little bit, like makes me feel like everyone else around me, like, and everyone else beyond them is also partaking in these things. And then I actually look outward and it's just me standing there. Not in a bad way, but like I don't realize that like I am in the vast minority of female ultra distance runners who want to come back more than once for an ultra distance. So yeah, I am a little bit of a badass, and I have to remember that. Just take that and put that in my back pocket for bad moments where I'm like really fading and like feeling like I'm not even a runner, even though I'm like probably 35 miles into like a 50-mile race. And I feel like I'm not a real runner at that point, which is the most bullshit thing in the entire world. But I know I'm going to feel that way. I know I'm going to feel that way. And just being able to be like, no, Juliana, you are out here running. You are a badass. You got this. You are part of that like 0.0000001% of humans out there, of lady humans, female identifying humans, who is an ultra distance runner. Here you are. This is something that's wild, and you are doing it. And along those lines too, one of the things that I remember to myself, like thought to myself too, while I was running the other day, is things that are like kind of challenging for other people seem to be the things that I am better at. Not great at, not the best at, but like I'm better at. Like when I was in high school, I did a lot of art. And the one thing that everyone had a hard time with when we did portraits was hands. And guess what? The one thing that I could draw really well was hands. I have a really hard time sitting down. People are like, why don't you sit down? Like, why don't you relax? Like, I am on my feet all day. I like literally don't sit down. If you've ever spent time around me, like I'm standing the entire day. I'm standing, I'm walking, I'm running. I literally don't sit down. My body has a really hard time when I sit down. I have really bad sit bone bursitis. So I physically do not sit down. I physically don't, like 90% of the day. But other people have a really hard time standing up. People have a really hard time like just keeping in motion. I love being in motion. People have a hard time doing public speaking. I love public speaking. It's just things that like are kind of like detractors and things that other people don't seem to like. I really enjoy. So I have to remember that too, that like the things that other people find challenging are places that I seem to thrive. And then vice versa too, things that other people thrive in and find easy, I seem to find really challenging, like sitting all day. I can't sit for more than like 5 minutes and I'm like up. Anyone who's been around me is like, yep, Juliana's up within like 5 minutes. Like you put her down and she's like, boing! I'm like, Gah! So just remembering that like, even though other people might find that this challenging, I don't have to. I don't have to take on their burden and their vibes and their struggles. I'll have my own for sure, 100%. I don't have to inherit theirs as well. Okay, so 2 more things. First thing is just a little mantra I'm keeping to myself when I'm going over the trails and the rocks and the roots and things like that, to like remind myself to just keep my movement fluid, is just flow. Flow like a river or a stream over everything that's happening in front of you. Just kind of like feel like a nice like rhythmic motion as we're going over all of the things that are just showing up in front of us on the forest floor, whether it's rocks, roots, annoyingly sized medium rocks, mediumly annoying rocks, those rocks that are like this big that you can't like avoid stepping on, and when there's a bunch of them together, it's just like, whoa! But you can't like not step on them, but you have to step on them. But then if you don't step on them, it's like, and if you do step on them, it's like, ugh! No. Go away, annoyingly medium rocks. And also ice. Fuck you, ice. But just flowing over the terrain. I'm a river, I'm a stream, I'm water. I will also be peeing in the woods a lot. Don't tempt me with a good time. My last thing that I have for you guys is just something I know about the race. There's one thing I definitely know about this race. That is that I will learn things. I'm going to learn so many things. I'm also going to fuck up so many things. And then I'm going to learn from them. I'm going to take that with me. I don't know what the things I'm going to learn are yet, but I'm definitely going to learn a lot of things. And I, in a way, look forward to that because I know how my first marathon went. I know how my first 5K went. I know how my entire running journey has went. Every single race that I run, I learn things. And especially when I'm new to the distance or new to the terrain, I learn a lot of things. And when I'm using new gear that I haven't used at a race before, like my pack, I'm going to learn a lot of things. I'm pushing my body to a distance I've never pushed it to before. The furthest I've gone is the 50K. And I don't know what is going to happen. Am I going to break in two? Am I going to turn into a bird? Am I going to explode? Am I going to turn into like a giraffe? I don't know. Am I going to start hallucinating at mile 40 because Juliana's brain has just reached a point where it's like, fuck this shit. Let's pretend we're in the middle of a bouncy house. And I'll be like, I don't know. My brain kind of does that anyway. It's not unlikely. I will be learning a lot of things on this 50-miler attempt. So stay tuned. I will be doing an episode where I am going to let you guys know the things that I did learn. Whether I finish this distance or not, I know I'm going to learn a lot of things. And honestly, again, like I've said in other episodes, the races that you don't finish or don't go well are the races that you learn the most from. I have a feeling this is not going to be, I know this is not going to be as successful as my 50K. My training is not in the right place for that. I am going to give it my darndest. I am going to make it as far as I can without completely destroying myself. And I am going to learn a lot of things. And we're going to keep it dumb and silly if I can, right? Right. Cool. Thank you. But friends, before you leave today, don't forget to like and subscribe to the show, to the show and the channel. Stay tuned because I will be providing you my thoughts and feelings. Maybe we'll bring Ben back on. He can interview me again. We like having Ben on. Ben is our highest recurring guest on here because Ben is my best running friend. And so, you know, this is a podcast about running. Ben's also one of my best friends in general. My main running squeeze. It's a nice time. Ben and I went running together on Sunday, and I think we spent like 4.5 hours together, and I was like talking the whole time. It was a nice time. I texted him afterwards. I was like, I am so glad we are friends. This is so nice. If I have a feeling about you, I'm a very earnest person. I will tell you how I'm feeling. And I just went home. I was like, I should tell Ben that I really appreciate the fact that we are friends, and I appreciate him a lot, and I should let him know. And so I did. And that was nice. Friends, if you would like some more nice, fun vibes, or you just really liked my glasses, definitely 1, comment below, 2, subscribe, and 3, stay tuned. And I will see you guys all on the next episode of Runnah. And I love you very much, and I'm very proud of you, and I'll see you soon. Wish me luck. Send me good vibes. If you'd like to send me a little voice message or something to listen to, or you have a song suggestion or some music you think I would like. I like techno music usually. I will listen to some weird shit. If you have a weird song that you want to play that's what I should do. I should make a playlist of weird songs like Crazy Frog or something like that. Or the Numa Numa guy that are just nonsense. Numa Numa hey, Numa 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 hey. Things that are just silly nonsense bullshit. Ding 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 ding. Or what does the fox say? Things like that are just absolute asinine bullshit. Send me that. Someone make me a playlist of asinine bullshit. That's what I want. Okay? Great. Thanks. Okay. Love you lots. See you later. Bye. Thank you for listening to this episode of Runnah. This podcast is edited, hosted, and produced by me, Juliana Coughlin. Brought to you in part by the Falmouth Running Club and the Falmouth Community TV station. If you'd like to connect with us, you can find us on Instagram and on TikTok at RunnahPod. And you can send us an email at runnahpod@gmail.com. And our original theme music was brought to you by the one and the only wonderful Jeffrey Hutton. And keep up the great work. I'm proud of you.